Alright, Jeremy Lenning, United States Air Force. Fairly new to the Air Force as well. How are you doing today?
Doing quite well, man. How about yourself?
Doing great, sir. Alright, so I would like to be going over a few of your achievements that you've been going into since you've currently been new, and I'd like to elaborate on what you've done so far. So, what is it like being out in the field?
So when you're working out there at Arlington, it truly is an amazing experience. Getting to honor those who really deserve the utmost respect from us. Like the fact that they chose me to do that job is just an extraordinary honor. You know, it is stressful and it is a lot of work, and you are hurting at the end of the day, but it's worth it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I see. What is it like after work then?
After work, well, you're walking home and your feet hurt and you're tired, but you have a sense of accomplishment truly.
I see.
No matter what you're doing, whether you're doing jobs out at Arlington or doing parades, you feel as if you've truly done something with your day.
I see.
It's very rewarding.
Nice. What does your after-day schedule kind of look like? What are you doing after work mostly?
So when I get home, the first thing you must do is you gotta wash your clothes, and then you have to iron, make sure everything looks good. Apply a fresh coat of heel and sole to your shoes. It's basically black paint around the shoes so that they look sharp. Clip strings. Just make sure your uniform looks as flawless as it needs to, because we represent the entire Air Force with our uniform, so we have to put in a large amount of work to make it looking good.
It's very interesting there. Nice. So do you like it so far? That sounds like a whole bunch of work, and I'm really interested in how you feel toward all that work that you do. Is it pretty stressful, or?
There was some very stressful moments. The tech school for getting into the Honor Guard was very stressful, but it's worth it. Like I said, you put in a lot of work for a high amount of reward, and you have a large amount of high-ranking officers thanking you, saying you're doing a great job. We had an immersion tour the other day where a lot of colonels and majors came up and saw what we did, and we got to impress them with our bearing and our standards. That's very rewarding, and I wouldn't trade it. Yeah, you're tired and it's hard work, but it's worth it.
Nice. I like to hear that. So, what is your biggest achievement being in the Honor Guard? I noticed that you do a lot of parades and everything. Most of you guys do funerals. But what is your biggest achievement so far?
Personally, my biggest achievement, or the event I was the proudest of, was the Air Force tattoo that we did. Basically, a ceremony, a celebration of the entire Air Force. A very large-scale event. We had the Chief of Staff of the Air Force there. That was very rewarding. Other than that, just being out at Arlington every day, doing ceremonies at Arlington National Cemetery, that's never something I saw myself doing a year ago even.
Yes.
So the ability to do that, it's remarkable. It's a remarkable thing, and I'm extraordinarily proud of it.
That's great. I did review that tattoo that you did a few weeks ago, and it was actually a really great tattoo. You guys look sharp out there.
Thank you.
That was really great. Alright, so I noticed that you recently got promoted a few weeks ago too. You went from an E1, an Airman Basic, to an E2 Airman. You knocked out the basic part, and now you're just solid Airman. So since you've changed, how do you see yourself now since you've promoted? Are you changing anything about yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Certainly coming in as an Airman Basic, you don't know what you're doing. I was fresh into my job, fresh in tech school,
Very true.
just sort of doing what you're told and trying to do it as best you can. Now that I've reached that rank of Airman, it does coincide with getting a little bit more experience in your job. I've been out at Arlington plenty, I've done plenty of jobs. I understand what to do now. So as the next class graduates from tech school, I can help guide them in what they need done, the information that they're going to need as they go out in the field and do their job.
Interesting.
I now know a little bit more. I'm not as experienced as some by any standard, but I know enough to do my job very, very well.
Now, I see that you mentioned that you liked helping the other airmen out with the things that you've learned as of right now. So, with the other airmen, how many are you training per day, or how many are you working with?
So, we're not specifically working with any airmen here where I am in CMU, but when a flight graduates from tech school, they're put into the rest of the Honor Guard, and it's basically sink or swim. So many of us will just help them out, give them advice they need. Hey, take the straps off of your back belt when you put it on. hey, do this. Things that'll just help you out there, just little tips and tricks and just ways to improve yourself as you're out there. Because this is their first time truly doing jobs. So it's truly our responsibility, having done these jobs, to just help them out.
That's good, Jeremy. I heard that a lot of airmen need help out there, and that's like the biggest thing in the Air Force that we need. Helping them out to bring them up to your level so they can help us out later in the generations to come.
Absolutely. I mean, listen to some of the older airmen, some of the senior airmen that have been there, and some of the A1Cs that have been there a long time. I listen to them as much as I possibly can to try and get as much information from them. And so, as I listen to them, it's also my responsibility to pass on what I know to the people who are younger than me, which isn't many, but those who are. I feel like that is my responsibility. And just in the Air Force as a whole, that's extraordinary advantage about the Air Force. So let's say I was a mechanic, and a fresh mechanic would come into my field. I'm of course going to tell him all the tips and tricks that I know to make sure that he's as good at his job as he can be, because that's how you support the total mission.
That's very true. Alright, so you also take information from your olders, and then you teach the youngers, and you're basically the link in the chain right there. I really like that about you, Jeremy. So you've done pretty good on all the things I need from you. Your achievements are great. Your coming in and promoting, also very great, since you've done a lot of changing and have a bigger viewpoint of what you need to do in your job. And you seem to be liking your job as well, which is something I really like about you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would truly appreciate it.
Alright, well, I look forward to promoting you down the road to probably that A1C level, Airman First Class.
Yes, ma'am.
You deserve it, so work up to that level, and I appreciate you working with us.
I appreciate it. You have an excellent day.
You as well, sir. Have a great day.